Hi there, how are you today? Today we're going to be talking about what to do if you feel shame around eating in your body. So I'm Kelsey Mashad, health and life coach, and if you come on, say hello, let me know you're here so I can say hi to you. And if you have any questions, pop them right in the comments for me. I'm happy to answer your questions for you. So, like I said, today we're talking about shame, and I know this can be, a really sensitive subject for a lot of people, but as I work with people, I see a lot of people just let shame stop them from actually losing weight. They're afraid of what people might say because they've failed, and then they're feeling ashamed with all of the things that are associated with all of the things that come with not losing weight. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about why it happens and what we can do to fix it. Because I do see a lot of people either stop or just give up, just give up trying to lose weight, over and over again, because they're ashamed of what they'll look like if they fail. So the thing is, it doesn't have to be that way. It absolutely does not have to be that way. Think about it. Like, have you ever ridden a bike? Like when the first time you tried to ride a bike, think way back. And you usually have the training wheels to start off with, right? But eventually you take those training wheels off, right? And someone held the back of the seat for you as you went along to kind of help you a little bit still, even once those training wheels were off. And then you realized that they let go, right? And you probably fell a few times and it made you think, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Myself, I remember clearly when I first started to learning to ride a bike, and my uncle was helping me, and sure enough, the training wheels are eventually gone, and he's holding the back seat, and I'm going at it, and I fell. And I definitely fell, and I fell hard. And my knees were scraped up, and I saw blood, and I was crying, and I was a mess, and I had to get the Band-Aids out, and it's part of what we have to go through sometimes, right? When we're learning something new, we have to fall, and we have to struggle, and we have to fail a little bit. And that's okay. It's all right, as long as we get back up again and we continue to try again. Because each time you got on that bike, you got a little better and a little better. And eventually you were like, hey, I'm doing it. I got this. And eventually, that shame doesn't stop you anymore. Once you're like changing your subconscious thinking, and it's becoming a little more positive now. All right. And you have that ability to make it happen without the shame and without those old patterns, without the training wheels, without these old thinking patterns. And the same goes for your eating habits too. So instead of feeling, some shame when you slip up or you fall off, or you feel okay because you know that those habits are still with you, just like learning to ride that bike. Okay? So when it comes to food, sometimes we give food negative labels, don't we? All right. How often have you referred to your food as junk? Like, we call it junk food, right? It's junk. And sometimes that label, like the label we use for food, it's usually for, like, when we call things junk, it's usually because we've deemed something unhealthy, right? And that includes everything from, like, cookies to chips, cupcakes, pizza, ice cream, French fries. The list can go on and on. But for some of us, after we eat these types of foods, we say, oh, I feel like junk, or I feel like crap. So if we believe what we're telling ourselves, you are what you eat, right? That's what how the saying goes. Well, then this means that we may be feeling like we're junk too, right? If you say, oh, I feel like junk, or if I feel like crap, like, think of it like, okay, your mind goes through this process, okay? Your mind has a process to go through. So you're thinking, okay, I ate junk, I feel like junk, I am junk, all right? It's such a common thing to feel bad about some of our food choices. So after you eat some of your favorite foods, or some of your favorite junk foods, then you feel that guilt, right? That guilt starts to creep in because you're thinking about how bad that you've been for those food choices, for all those choices that you've actually just made. And diet culture, of course, has they put this like moral value system around shame and guilt when we have not followed the rules, right? The labels and the moral judgments is what causes you to actually internalize all of these negative emotions, and that leaves you feeling like junk or like crap or feeling that shame, right? Let me know if you're resonating with this. Let me know if this is something that kind of like tends to happen for you when you're eating a particular food, and does it make you feel a certain way? Because this idea it's somehow like, it shows or gives us like our self-worth. You know, we think our self-worth is determined by the choices that we make, by those food choices that we're actually making, and they can have such a negative impact on our mental health, right? And that leaves us feeling pretty bad, especially if it's like depending on the type of like the season, like if it's summertime, where we're wearing less like heavy clothing and sweaters like that, more like tank tops and t-shirts and shorts, and even, you know, hopefully, you know, bathing suits and bikinis and things like that, where we're showing much more skin, right? That's when we're feeling a ton more body conscious at that point. And our food choices, they make a difference in our self-esteem and in our mood that much more. So with all of these ways that we label food, how does it actually affect your mood? Think about that. Think about like how once you start labeling something, how are you actually feeling about that? So, oh, good morning, Carmelina. How are you? Thank you for coming on. So are there days that you tend to, you follow the rules, like you eat clean, you eat healthy, and you might even be in a better mood, right? And you're feeling like, you know, you're a little more worthy because of it. But on those days that you're feeling good, you're eating clean, you're eating healthy, you're feeling really good, you're in a good mood, if you tend to like make a mistake, or, you know, what you consider to be a mistake, or you eat the junk, you may go ahead and start labeling yourself as bad. We put those labels on ourselves, and you may even feel like you deserve to restrict again, right? As a result of feeling that way. So sometimes labeling your food can actually create that food fear and the anxiety or an unhealthy relationship with food and your body. Oh, good evening. Yes, it's actually it's afternoon here. Where are you popping in from? I'm here in Rhode Island in the States, and it's about mid-afternoon. So I'd love to know where you're coming in from. So fortunately, there are many things that actually I want to tell you today, because that can help you to change and to feel a little more supported. So as I mentioned, I want to talk to you about how you can actually feel better around some food choices and your habits. You're in the UK, 6:50 p.m. Wow, it's 1:52 p.m. for us over here in the US. So that's awesome. It's so cool how, you know, you pop on live, and, you know, we can reach each other all over the world. I think that's so amazing now, the way technology, it brings us all together. So thank you for being here. Okay, so let's talk about how we can change, you know, help you change, you know, like how you feel around some of your food choices and the habits that you've currently created for yourself. So first and foremost, let's change our language, okay? Things that we actually call junk or junk food. Junk is a word that actually describes things that are considered useless or of little value, okay? So what some foods may have, like some foods have more nutritional value than others. We know that, right? They have more nutrients, they have more vitamins and minerals and so on. And they don't carry such a moral value for us, do they? And food is neither good nor bad. It's food. Food is food. So instead of labeling your food junk, you can call it by its name instead, all right? Whatever it may be. So that way there's no label needed, all right? So when you take the label away, then you'll see that the negative thought patterns are no longer there, and they don't sound reasonable anymore either. So like I said before, where like we said, okay, I ate junk, I feel like junk, I am junk. If you replace that with the name of the actual food, it doesn't seem to make sense anymore. So it could be, let's take cookies for example. I ate cookies, I feel like cookies, I am cookies. That's a little silly, right? Because here we can't internalize the fact that we are cookies, right? It just sounds weird. It sounds silly. Okay? So take the label off of everything. Food is food. Call it by its name. And 2, let's unlearn the belief that worth is the result of what we actually eat. Your food choices do not define you, okay? It's just the way you nourish your body. Think of it that way. It tells you nothing of your worth. You're not a better person because you have stayed away from sugar. You're not a better person because you stayed away from fats or the processed foods. Just like it's not helpful to either guilt or shame yourself for eating what our culture actually deems as this junk food, right? So by judging yourself, it's only going to be more harmful to yourself. So instead, let's give yourself some self-compassion, some kindness, right? Throw some nice kindness at yourself and be curious. Just be curious as you work to understand your own emotional and nutritional needs. Listen to your body. It will tell you what it wants and what it needs. And number 3, let's try to eat more intuitively. Yes, I'm a big fan, big advocate right here. Intuitive eating, it is a non-diet approach to nutrition. No diet. Who wants to diet? We don't want to be in a diet. It focuses on the mind and body connection, and it uses your intuitive knowledge regarding our food choices, okay? So the goal is to just tune inwards to yourself, understand your own individual hunger and satiety cues rather than all those external diet rules like the should mentality that you've most likely dealt with or grown up with or experienced from the diet industry. Okay? And number 4, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you are struggling, or if any of these particular points that I just mentioned, if they hit home for you, if you resonate with them, well, first of all, know that you're definitely not alone. And as much as we think we can handle some of these things on our own, it's okay to ask for help. There's no shame in seeking, therapy or coaching or getting the tools that you need to heal your relationship with food and your body. Okay? And if you'd like to dive a little bit deeper into your own personal health and weight goals, and you would like to chat and see if I can take you from where you are now to where you'd like to go, feel free to PM me at any time. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to chat with you and dive deeper into your own health and weight goals, because I can show you exactly how to stop overeating, binge eating, or even starving yourself. Sometimes we don't eat enough for what our body really needs, even though we think we're doing something good, and it's actually hurting us more. Okay? So I can help you to, eliminate all of that so that you can actually lose weight in a healthy, natural way. And while you're eating what you want, you want to leave all of that previous shame and guilt behind you without depriving yourself, without starving yourself, without even needing any willpower to get through it, okay? You can finally make that peace with food in your own body, and you'll be able to enjoy all the foods you love, the carbs, the sweets, the nuts, the fruits, whatever you want, whatever you enjoy. But the difference is now that you don't overeat these foods when we work together, because I teach you exactly how to do that. So let me know if you have any questions at all. And Carmela, it is really cool. I do seem to catch a lot of your lives, so that's good. Yes, awesome, even with our timing. So that's good, glad to hear it. So if you have any questions, let me know, pop it in the comments for me. And if not, right now I'm going to hop off, but I hope you all have a very beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.